Hello, beautiful souls. Today's episode is so good. And before we jump in, I have some exciting news to share. If you've ever wondered where you're blocking money, this is for you. I've created a free quiz to diagnose your money wounds so you can heal them and unblock yourself to receive more money. Just go to moneywoundsquiz.com and answer 6 quick questions to get your insanely accurate and potent results. And if you're loving my vibe and want to work one-on-one to call in more feminine energy wealth, I would love to hear from you. You can shoot me a DM on social media or go to emilywilcox.com to learn more. Hello and welcome to the Makes Money Show. This is such a special episode for me because I am celebrating 1 year in coaching. I feel like it has been such a wild ride. It's been a tremendous year, and I'm really excited to dissect it, break it down, both from the financial and numbers perspective, but also just from some of the key learnings that I've had in this first year of this new revenue stream and this new business. So, as I like to do, let's just start with the numbers. So this was kind of fun because I really wanted to break it down for you guys, which meant that I had to look month by month by month to see where we landed. Okay. So I started in March of 2021. I made $666 last March. April was $11,887. May, $2,233. June, $5,998. July, $2,233, August, $11, September, $4,775, October, $1,110, November, $8,996, December, $4,776, January, $34,273, February, $5,953, March, $15,639 for a lifetime total revenue of, drumroll, $95,996. So you can see just from the numbers that there's a fair bit of volatility. And that, I think, happens often in your first couple of years of coaching, is that you don't have tons and tons of recurring revenue. You're trying a lot of things. You're trying some new offers. Maybe you're getting a big pay in full 1 month, but then the next month looks really small. And so one of the first things I will say in terms of lessons, so to speak, was not getting so hung up on the numbers, because money is such a lag indicator in business. This is true of any business. It is always a lag indicator. And so focusing on more of the lead indicators, which in a coaching business are things like audience size, audience engagement, how many people are joining my free masterclass, how many people took my money wounds quiz, how many people are listening to the podcast, how many people are jumping into low ticket offers. So how many people are in my DMs saying that they want to work with me someday, that I'm on their vision board, using all of those things as a lead indicator that the money is on its way and will arrive in its aligned timing. Now, I have to say, I have made a lot of money from a lot of different money channels. 100K plus months are actually quite normal for me in multiple businesses. And yet, this 96,000 for a year, oh, it feels so worthy of celebration. It feels so good. It feels like an incredible honor, because when I think about what that money represents, I think about my closest clients, because the truth is, it actually doesn't take, in my business model, that many clients to make that happen. And I know I just added up all the numbers. So I had to go back into my Stripe account and into my PayPal account and into my Simplero account to add some of it up. And it's like the same names over and over again. So it really represents so much depth and intimacy and transformation. And like, I can't even, words fail me to describe how sacred I hold these relationships, how much reverence I have for these women that have said yes to me again and again. The types of life-changing work that we've been able to do together on the other side of their sacred yes is really mind-blowing. And it feels like such a soul contract, like our souls are meant to work together in this lifetime, that we were meant to activate and expand each other. And it has just felt so win-win. So every one of these dollars, I'm really, really grateful for. And you know what? In the month where I only made $11, wow, am I so grateful to the woman who bought the $11 thing that was on my website, because it's just further evidence that she wants to work with me, that she's coming in at the level that makes sense for her right now. And she was actually someone who was in my DMs saying like, I can't wait to hire you as my coach someday. And so that's something that I want to say in terms of lessons from this first year. If you're a new coach or a new consultant or a new agency owner, the important thing is, can you hold the vision long enough for it to come into physical manifestation? You will need to look for evidence that it's working, because your brain will be able to easily find evidence that it's not working, right? There are definitely times when it felt like nobody was buying my stuff, like nobody was listening, nobody was engaging on anything, that people were hiring other coaches. Yes, $95,000 came in. And I will tell you, I launched a lot of things that no one bought. A lot of things. I launched a lot of things that one person bought. And if I would have let that be evidence that it wasn't working, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. I so strongly, more than ever, believe in the compound effect. So like, if I can do $100,000 essentially in my first year as a coach, like, wow, watch out, world, because I'm only getting better. I'm only delivering more potent programs, more potent content. I'm becoming a better coach. I'm better able to channel and co-create with spirit. I'm better able to tap into what my clients need to hear from a coaching perspective and using my intuition for that as well. I'm better able to create content that really lands and makes people want to follow me and listen to me. My podcast episodes continue to get better and better. Shout out. Thank you to all of you who've been listening from the start, and you've probably seen that progression as well. So it's only going to keep getting better and better. And the money being the lag indicator, the money will continue catching up to all of these new levels of power that I continue unlocking. So can you look for evidence early on that it's working? And can you really savor each piece of that? So I created an Instagram reel where I talked about this. And I think some people maybe didn't fully believe that this is actually my practice, and it's my practice. In fact, for those of you that are watching this on YouTube, I'm going to reach around my desk here and I'm going to show you that I have a clear glass vase that is full of these puffballs. And it actually has a wad of money in it right now too, which is kind of fun, because I feel like it's good for us to have some tactile experiences with money, and somebody gave me some cash, so I just decided to put it in. But each of these puffballs represents a client transaction. So anytime someone pays me, I will leave those emails marked as unread in my inbox until I'm ready to celebrate. So sometimes I'll do it same day, or sometimes they might pile up for a couple of days. Sometimes it's been a few days and it's still just the one transaction. But every time I check that inbox to see if there are any new transactions, I'm so grateful. And I'm saying like, thank you to that one that I can see. And so then I'll throw on a song that feels like a money song to me. I have a particular one, and I will get a puffball. I will dance around the room. I will be visualizing not only that person, but also universe and how much money loves to flow to me, my gratitude for it. And then I will put the puffball into the vase. And then at that point, then I will mark that email as read. So that's what that signifies that I've now celebrated that person. I really extend the feeling of celebration. I extend the feeling of gratitude. I extend my belief that it's all working. I honestly think that is the biggest key to my success in year one. Looking for the evidence that it's working, trusting it, believing it, amplifying it. I take screenshots of people that say, I can't wait to work with you. In fact, if I were to open up my phone, which I'm doing now, I've got an album that's called like Client Love. And so some of it's when clients post really amazing things. And then some of it's just like people that want to work with me. And I can just go back at any point in time and celebrate. It's like, here we go. Emily is truly the real deal and embodies everything she speaks on. I'm so happy that this podcast is out in the world. So that's someone who wrote a podcast review. And shout out and thank you to every one of you listening who have reviewed this podcast. And if you haven't reviewed it yet and you are enjoying listening, I really invite you to leave a review. I read them. They light me up. I'm so grateful for it. So all kinds of people writing about the podcast. Then like, listen to this. You've actually been crossing my path a lot and I'm feeling very pulled to work with you. Just need to figure out the best way and timing to do that. Stay tuned. It's on my vision board. So it's going to happen someday, somehow. Wow. I'm on someone's vision board. Like, I feel the tears welling up in my eyes as I say that. It's no small thing. It's no small thing. And you know what? If there's one person that's messaged me that, there's probably 10 that haven't thought to message me or didn't have the courage to message me yet, but they've thought it. And I'm on their vision board too. I get messages like that, probably at least on a monthly basis. And I really let it land. It's so important. Otherwise, we can feel discouraged. And I think it's part of the reason that I've been so brave in this year of coaching, because I really show up, I really experiment, and I'm really willing to try. So I will launch things and just see, does anybody sign up? How do I feel selling this? Do I still feel lit up by it? Do I think it's the best thing since sliced bread? What price points are lighting people up? Where are they ready for an easy yes? What feels stretchier? Which are people paying in full? Are they buying payment plans? The only way that I'm learning all of this stuff is being willing to try. And so at the end of 2021, as I was preparing for this year and saying like, how do I want to structure my business offers for this year? I kind of said to myself, like, what if it all worked? What if everything I launched worked? There were people in it and they loved it and they were happy to pay for it. What would I want to offer? And so I mapped out like a whole year's worth of offerings. So I'm teaching a new program almost every month. Plus I have my high-level mastermind. Plus I have private coaching clients. And then I have little things little pop-up masterminds here and there. It's given me so much good information already. And it's only April. So I'm learning about myself, about what feels good to sell, what's landing, what isn't landing. And rather than making it mean something about me, like, oh, nobody bought my thing, this thing must suck, it's no good. All of my mastermind clients get to be in my programs. So even if nobody buys it, I still get to show up and deliver it in a super powerful way. And it gets to build my belief. I take my programs as I go through them, so I continue to get better and better. My clients benefit from it. Now I have all the recordings, so I could turn that into an evergreen course, or I already have it all outlined now. So the next time I go to sell it live and deliver it live, it gets to be that much easier because I already have such a strong foundation for that content built. But it's an experimentation mindset. It's like allowing myself to play, allowing myself to try things, and really honestly believing that everything is building momentum. So even in the things that don't work, it's also building momentum. It's getting me closer to the things that do work. And I'm like so grateful for that. So I just had something where I didn't have enough people sign up to actually move forward with the original offer. And so I reached out to one of my nearest, dearest clients who signed up and said, hey, I know you signed up. I didn't get enough signups to move forward with this thing, but I would love to offer you an incredible one-on-one VIP day. And like, I've been wanting to do this anyway. What do you think? And she was like, can I say F yes? I was like, oh, like what an amazing answer. You know what I mean? And this is the kind of thing that we get to experience when we're brave enough to put things out there. Like in my mind, it could have been like, oh, that was a failure. I didn't get enough signups. Instead, it's like, oh, well, let's play with a new offer with one of my incredible clients that did say yes and already paid. And now she's super excited to be the first one to get to receive this new experience. So I started my coaching business without any audience. That's not true for everyone. But for me, I started a brand new Instagram. I needed to just learn how to use my voice without having to think about who was on the receiving end of it. And so I wasn't coming in saying like, I already have 10,000 followers. I've already been in network marketing. Now I want to pivot to coaching. I want it to be successful right away. I really came into coaching knowing that it's my soul's work, knowing that it's for my own evolution, that I get to get better and better and better over time, that it calls me forward into new levels. And that at each of those levels, I'm going to be an energetic match for soulmate clients, and just trusting that and trusting that it will take as long as it takes, but it doesn't matter, right? It's like if you knew that it was your life's mission to climb Mount Everest, like you could just visualize yourself on top of that mountain. And for some reason, your soul was calling you to do it. And you knew that it was one of the most important things you were ever going to do in this lifetime. Does it matter if it takes you 30 days or 30 years to climb the mountain? Not really, because at the end of the day, it's who you are on the journey. And if you can enjoy every step of it and know that you're going to get to your destination, then we can release that pressure of time. And I will say that this is the first ever business where I've really gifted myself with that. And it's in huge part and thanks to my mentor, Melanie, for really helping me understand how when we put a time onto things, it creates a pressure that's not helpful. I came from the more old school and traditional way of doing things where it was like, put myself in a pressure cooker and that somehow that will get me to perform better, faster. So it has been such a gift to take myself out of the pressure cooker and just trust that a life's work, it doesn't need to be rushed. It's honestly like choking me up to say that. This is like medicine for my own soul. I hope that it's medicine for everyone listening as well. Our life's work doesn't need to be rushed. It really doesn't. And we miss so much in the rushing, and we enjoy it so much less when we rush it. When we can allow ourselves to savor it and trust that it's unfolding in the most beautiful and divine ways, it's an incredible gift to ourselves and to all of those around us who are participating in this life's journey with us. I can't think of a more perfect note to end this podcast on. Our life's journey doesn't need to be rushed. I want to say such a heartfelt thank you to all of you who are listening. Many of you have been listening to this podcast from the get-go. So you've really been on this journey with me. And I'm so honored. I'm so honored that you choose to invest your time, which is our most precious resource, into listening to this podcast and connecting with me, connecting with my work, maybe jumping into some of my programs, maybe coming and getting coaching from me at some point. I'm really so touched by that. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for listening to this episode, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to today's show. Changing the way we think, feel, and talk about money will change the world. I truly believe that. It starts with you tuning in, and it spreads when you share this show on Instagram and Facebook and tag me at mmakesmoney. And you know what moves the needle the most? Taking just a minute to leave a 5-star review on iTunes. This show isn't free to produce, so let's multiply those dollars invested to help this show reach a bigger audience each week. Thank you so much for your help. I really appreciate it. And lastly, if you want more connection, more M Makes Money style riffs, and a safe place on the internet to talk about money, jump into my free Facebook group, The Money Club. It's linked in the show notes. Until next time, I'm wishing you health, happiness, and boatloads of money.